Good day, everybody. Good day. Welcome again to another show, another episode of Full Disclosure. Today, 15th of June 2026, I'll be with you until we end. Angie is in the co-pilot seat, so she will be, when I go to sleep, if I'm going to sleep, Angie will be the one to take over the controls.
To make
Let's
some
hope I don't
money
fall
in
asleep
the
at the wheel. All right. Okay. Good day, my people. Castrizis, as usual. Mr. Chico, Peter Chico, how are you doing? Mr. Jordan, our chairman. And thanks, Jordan. I never stopped. I never really had full time to thank you for that intro, for our full disclosure. I know you do that. I wouldn't be able to pay you, and I have not paid you a cent for doing that for me. So thanks again for that full disclosure introduction. Um, our supporters, friends from Castrizis and the United Workers' Party on a whole, I want to say good day to everybody, Mr. Patrick John and family, all the Castrizis people who are listening, who are tuned in. We'll have an exciting show, so I want you to call somebody and tell them that we on. Send them the link and let them know that we are on, because we are going to have a very interesting program today. We'll be talking a lot of things about, well, the hurricane season is officially on from June the 1st. And we can already see, according to the Prime Minister, a lot of water is falling.
ah,
That's the right term?
it was watering.
It was watering. It was watering a lot last night and into this morning. So if you're living in Castries, you know the amount of water we got last night, according to the Prime Minister. So
It watered a lot.
it watered a lot. So I hope you don't have your gutterings going straight in the river or in the drain, and you do what the Prime Minister say. You get a drum, you get a bucket or something, and put under your guttering. All right. So we have a lot to talk about, people. But as usual, I want to start off with one or two little safety tips. And normally my tips are on crime and so on, but today, because we are in the hurricane season, I will start off with two tips that I believe, since we at the hurricane period, that we would need to take note of. The first one being overhanging branches and so on. Now I know we have our fruit trees, we have our breadfruit, we have our wax apple, we have our coconut, we have mangoes in the prime, especially breadfruit. We have some breadfruit trees that have a lot, that bear a lot this year, and they're not matured yet. But they are overhanging people's land, people's houses, your neighbor's houses, your neighbor's land, your neighbor's garage. And while you might be on good terms with your neighbor, you would not want your neighbor. Some people have a difficulty when their neighbor to get access to their fruit, their overhanging fruits in the land. But also, it can be while the fruits are ripe, and you can have a lot of problems, or you can have difficulty with your neighbor for picking your mangoes and so on. Those fruits do pose a danger to your neighbor's property. In fact, the very branch that's full laden with breadfruits in a rain, a heavy rain, the branch might come down, break, and fall on your neighbor's car in his yard. And you'll be responsible for that. Now, in the same light, if the neighbor picks a breadfruit from that same branch that's overhung in his yard, especially if it's the first breadfruit of the tree, because you know those things, that's how it normally happens. Sometimes your first fruit is not on your side, it's on the neighbor's side. And the neighbor picks it, and you have a problem with him. But all your mango and your breadfruit leaves falling in his yard. And he never calls you to pick it up. He picks it up because he believes, as neighbors, he will not make an issue with that. But don't expect if the man windscreen is damaged by your breadfruit, that he should not approach you to compensate him for his breadfruit. So, overhanging leaves, branches and leaves, and fruits like breadfruit and coconut that can cause serious damage should be trimmed, especially as we approach the hurricane season. Don't wait for the strong wind to come and for it to happen, and then you tell the person that you're not going to cut your breadfruit tree, you're not going to cut your coconut tree because of him. All right, because civilly you are liable. Now, those are some of the areas that the police, every hurricane, well, not just hurricane time, but on occasions, the police have to go to settle disputes like that between neighbors for overhanging branches and trees. Another issue is your drains. If you're going to clear your drains as the water is falling there, according to the Prime Minister,
No, it's watering.
as it's watering, if you're going to clear your drains or redirect your drains, try your best to direct your drains into the main drain or the river, the nearby river, and not end your drain straight on the doorstep of your neighbor. And those are things that we do every day, and we don't even realize what we're doing. But because it has not been watering, we don't have a problem. But now that it starts watering, you'd get up this morning if you're in Castries and you notice all the neighbors' leaves and old mangoes and old breadfruit that he was not cleaning all the time during the Kawem is right in front of your door. Because he put his drain, he redirected his drain straight in your doorway or across your yard, rather than turning it away and directing it into the main drain or to the river. So those are two simple but things that happen all the time. I'm sure Angie, living in the area where she is, Angie is living in the rainforest. And I'm sure Angie would have heard about or heard her neighbors. I don't know if she's the culprit, but her neighbors complain about her overhanging branches and breadfruit
Well,
falling on the vehicles.
I have a nephew, Foster, and every time he wants to correct you, he starts, actually, now once once you hear him say, actually, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Actually, the only neighbors I have are bees, birds, butterflies, mosquitoes. These
live in the
are
wild
very
mountains.
friendly.
Okay.
I have some very friendly mosquito neighbors. Every once in a while, I'll see a cockroach flying outside, and I think I might have 2 dogs, 3 cats, and a manikou that has come around every full moon. They're not complaining.
Okay.
They're not complaining.
So you
Oh,
don't
they have
have-
the frogs. They have the
Okay,
frogs.
frog.
The frogs complain though. They make a
Okay,
lot of
okay.
noise. But apart from, but they complain about the weather, not about us.
Okay. So
Right?
the overhanging branches and trees don't affect
Nobody.
nobody. Okay.
Nobody.
Well, that's a good thing when you own a. I live amongst the people, according to the Prime Minister.
Yes,
I live among the people.
the real people.
The real people.
The real people.
So take note, people, your overhanging tree that you don't want to cut because it has 1,000,000 breadfruits in it and you plan to make some money. Hurricane season, you tout pas qu'à bon avant June fini. Si nous n'avons un mauvais temps, et que n'a passé machine, un broche bois péon, cassé, et que toute chaille bois péon, et qui croise machine, moi, en l'échimie, et que moi, vini bon la porte, pas dit moi, c'est pied bois gouvernement qui là.
It's the breadfruit that fall not.
Talking about that, my brother Peter was driving up the pave road at one time, and a mango fell straight from a big mango tree right on the roadside. Now that mango tree, Angie, you'd see, seasonally you'd see somebody come there with they pick up one and they carries and they pick all the mangoes and they go with it. So the owner is selling the mangoes to a person who export mangoes or whatever. But on that day, the mangoes have not been picked. So Peter is driving up the road and a mango just falls and breaks his front windscreen,
Oh wow.
cracks it. So he stops and he tries to, by the time he pull over, the mango is rolling down the road and the young boy just take the mango, pick it up and bite it.
So that means he didn't even get it to eat.
evidence. He couldn't even get the mango for his evidence. So he stayed on the scene and he called the police. The police told him there is nothing they can do. The mango tree, find out who's the owner of the mango tree and go to the owner. So the house next to the mango tree. He called the person and the person told him that's not the mango tree, that's government mango tree. But every year the mangoes are being stolen.
Yeah.
But that's mango government. Now if you claim that tree,
Police
have a
coming for you,
problem.
That's
You
not
have a
government tree
problem
then.
with that.
Now me, Chico, you know what I was doing? I come in and pick the mangoes the next day. Tell me, call police for
Call
me
police,
for the
tell
government
them
mango tree.
That's the government mangoes.
Now, I was just telling my brother yesterday about an incident that occurred. So I have this friend, a bus driver on the bus stop, and he was driving through the cul-de-sac area, and a cow just jumped. That happened maybe last year or so. A cow just jumped in front of him, and he ended up running into the cow and he damaged his vehicle. Now, he sees a guy coming towards him. The guy looks like a farmer, so he's asking, do you know who the owner of the cow is? The guy said, no, he don't know that cow, but if I were you, I would take the cow. So the guy helps my friend batch the cow on a wrecker and take it to the police station. And then upon investigation, the same guy that helped him batch the cow is the owner of the cow. And when the police go to him, he say, "Me mo buy bugla befla."
So, okay. So why did he tell them and bring it to the station?
No, because I mean, they have to. He gave the cow battery on, but you know the police will take the cow and.
Yeah. So as we're speaking about that, Angie, I want to ask a question.
Go ahead and ask your question, but I have a picture for you, a video to show you.
I want to ask a question on behalf of the Predial Larceny unit. That's the unit that is charged with the investigation of Predial Larceny, stealing of the farmers, Dasheen and green fig and so on, the cows and the animals and so on. I am understanding that one or two of those persons are laid off. And they have had a problem with the pay for a number of months now. Some are claiming that they have not had a vehicle in months. So they cannot respond to reports. Imagine a farmer in Bexo makes a report, Angie, of a cow that he found in his farm, damaging his farm. And the police is telling him, take the cow down to Mikud, Angie, for them. So he tell them that's ridiculous. It would charge him, it would cost him more than the damage to his garden to take the cow to hire a truck or to take the cow down to Mikud. But they say they cannot respond because they don't have vehicle and they have not had a vehicle for some time now.
Wow.
So I want to find out if anybody can confirm or can offer any advice or information on the Predial Lasny unit, especially the persons who live in the rural area who have had cause to request some assistance from the Predial Lasny people, officers.
Speaking of Predial Lasny, I just sent you a picture. And I want you to watch it because, let me tell you.
Is it a mad cow again, Angie?
Watch the picture. Watch the picture, Foster. Watch the picture.
Okay. Let me see.
Let me send you a second one.
That's Somalian cows, man. My
Foster,
goodness.
you don't recognize those cows?
Those are the V4 cows.
Those are the cows that were taken from Shock
Shock.
to Kokodan.
Clinton, you seen that? I wish we had
Yeah, we could
television.
post it on.
Boy, those cows look like they want some shock grass, man.
Foster, when I saw the
There is
cows,
no grass there, Angie. For job that little tree there, that must be a vine tree or something, a prickle tree. They cannot eat it.
Foster, I saw the animals and I said to my brother, what's that among, that's a horse. My brother say, a horse? That's the cows, daddy. Look closely. Foster, I counted more ribs than cows.
Yeah, but that's what I'm seeing now. I'm seeing more ribs. You can basically go there and if you buy one of ribs, just buy ribs from the cows.
So these are the cows. You remember when they attempted to relocate the cows? Some of the cows were not cooperating. You remember that?
Yes.
They had to put them to sleep.
What word did they use? The minister, assistant to the minister, use the word syndicate.
I don't
They
know.
had to,
Syndicate.
they had to do the cow something. What would they use? Tranquilize, but they had to tranquilize, but he didn't say tranquilize,
Sedate.
He said, he wanted to say sedate.
But he
They
said syndicate. Oh,
yes.
wow. Okay. Too much English he have, that's why.
My.
So what? So you remember that video they post out saying, "Mo befla laje, befla kawe misère actuellement."
Yes. No, but let me tell you, the government is responsible for every cow that's why you see, when you get politics involved in everything, Angie. When you get politics involved, if you take responsibility, is that the pasture? Is it a closed area?
Yes, they're in an enclosed area.
Okay, now if you put it in a closed area, what facilities do they have for watering according to the Prime Minister, watering the cows?
There was
There's
a
a
drum.
pond there, a river or something?
There's a piece of
I
drum
see
there.
something on the ground.
Yeah, there's a piece of drum on the ground.
For all those cows?
Well, I gave you pictures don't lie. Well, except these days pictures lie endless when they put it for AI, but that's not an AI picture. I was driving along, minding my own business. Yes, I've sorted out my licensing. I will have to go on. They even sent me an email saying it's been printed, so I'm very happy.
Yes.
And I saw the cow, so I asked my brother because my brother is a farmer, and I asked him if that was a horse. I thought it was a horse. I know it's the young horses that has be so meg. I couldn't recognize the shock cows. And my brother said, take a picture because nobody will believe you. So here it
Right.
is.
But that is pasture for you, eh? I can imagine the heat down there, Angie.
Mm-hmm.
And earlier we saw a photo of a cow with that appeared dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on another program, in that same condition, dry condition, that cow looked like it was not watered since they took it out of shock.
Well, it didn't look like they haven't eaten until they got out of shock.
But you see, when you play politics with everything,
Mm-hmm.
you see the farmers at shock who had the animals at shock
Mm-hmm.
were not owed any land. If you cannot secure the law states, if you cannot secure your animals,
Mm-hmm.
the law deals with the animals a particular way,
Mm-hmm.
either by auctioning them or using them as food for different institutions. That's what the law provides. But when you say you want to, the cows belong to certain people,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to show favor to your people,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to take the cows and take it as your responsibility, that's not taxpayers' cows.
Well, technically,
if it's taxpayers'
technically
cows,
it's taxpayers' cows
well,
because
they
the owner
are
of the
now-
cows is a taxpayer. Technically.
Yeah, but the individual may be a taxpayer, but the taxpayers' funds cannot be used to cushion one person animals. You see, and
Mm.
so bring with that cow. Since we're on that cow topic,
Mm-hmm.
the persons who have had difficulties with their animals, their farms being invaded by goats and sheep and cows, what the law states about that? Angie, if I find your cow on my farm, damaging my crops,
Mm-hmm.
the law states that I can impound the cow.
Mm-hmm.
I can hold the cow at my home. I'm not bound to bring the cow at the police station. I can hold the cow if I have a feeling that I know the owner of the cow. I know it's Angie's cow.
Mm-hmm.
So I will send message for you, Angie,
Mm-hmm.
after work when you get to your home. I tell you, Angie, money before home.
Fin
Because
pay
moi,
moi.
nous, before, ka kwaze jade moi,
Mhm.
I kwaze $1,000 dashin moi.
Wow.
Si vous voulez bef là, paye moi l'argent dashin moi.
Se si mwen ki te bef la ba ou, di bef sa, ready kama han chayi, $1,000 dashin.
No, he didn't eat the dashin.
May sa fey. May sa fey. Kodi bouk la na ba, mwen ou na po bef sa pou kon mwen. Bache.
So, if you have a problem, you give me my $1,000, Angie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seizing your cow.
Mm-hmm.
Because in most cases, the cow is worth more than the $1,000.
All cases the cow is worth,
Yeah,
well, except
hopefully-
these cows. I
well,
buy
not-
them cows
not
for
those
$500.
cows. So I can seize the cow
Mm-hmm.
and sell the cow to your neighbor, your next friend, farmer friend, $4,500, make a profit on your. Because the cow, by virtue of you not paying me, the cow is my cow.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be done. But if the cow, what makes it different from the police handling the cow is if you have an accident on the road, which is in a public place,
Mm-hmm.
public highway, you can take the cow straight to your home. Excepting if the owner comes and he tells you, in the case you
Mm-hmm.
stated there, That's my cow, I said, just take the cow.
Well, he didn't say it was his cow, eh?
Well, he didn't say it. He
Because
didn't
when
say
the
that at
police
the time.
investigated,
He didn't say that at the time, but he probably knew at the back of his mind that that's how he would want to resolve the matter. So you can see how it is handled one way.
now here's
and
a funny thing.
private
Here's a funny thing.
yes.
The cow died in police custody.
The cow died.
The cow, I mean, a whole bus that hit the cow, eh?
Okay, so
The cow died in
so
police
the
custody.
guy didn't lost. We
Yeah.
had a cow that died in the pond once. Over a long, I think it was the Easter weekend. You know, those 4-day weekends.
Yeah.
And typically what would happen, Angie, before when the prison was in Castries, you could have gone and get a prisoner on the morning, take him somewhere, get grass or 2 prisoners, bring for the cow. That's the cows that are seized.
Impounded,
police
yeah.
court, But after the prisoners moved to Bodily.
It was too far.
When the police have a cow in custody, you know, you that take the cow, you'd have the problem.
You couldn't go custody
So,
suites and get one.
When fellas leave work on a Friday, Angie,
They
you
head
think
home.
it's a cow they remember to come and feed. So the cow got a blow already, and the cow stayed in the pond. And the cow died. By Tuesday morning, when everybody come to work, the cow dead, of course. So those things happen. It should not happen, but those things happen because things are not always put in place for.
Yeah,
events
that's
like
I've heard scuffles or kerfuffles among people in the area, fellow farmers, and they say, "Bef sa na ya wite," because he toujours ka vin nan jardin mwen. Yeah, so
Yeah, well, I mean the farmers
People-
in the Bexon
yeah,
area,
the farmers
those-
effecting
those
citizens'
people-
arrest on the cows.
Those
Yeah.
people have a lot of issues with. Now, when you find an agency that is important like that, because the farmers, when they pull their cutlasses,
Oh, let me tell you,
they're easy.
don't ask for if they're from Mac. Butchers alone not
Oh,
even
yeah.
inside of there.
You know the fellas in that area have cutlasses on both sides of the cutlass, sharp. So there is no way you can grab the cutlass or pull it. So it is important
I'm
for us
laughing
to
because
have-
I know it's true.
I tell you, Angie, you don't play with Mac butchers.
Butchers alone.
So that's why it's important for us to have the people that are responsible for those things, to have it working, Angie. Because there's a reason why the law have those people set aside. Because other than that, it chaos. All right, so you have persons who have their farms been destroyed, and they are tired of warning the neighbors or the animal keepers, tie your cow, tie your animals, and some people just don't care. They just allow the animals to roam, and then they damage people's crops.
Yeah.
So those are things.
Well,
that,
you know,
Yeah.
I've had certain experiences. I mean, at one point before Wasco stopped us, because technically we're not supposed to rear any animals on our farm. It's too close to the water catchment. So, we've had situations where we have goats and they're penned in. And the goats, let me tell you, goats are the most troublesome animals you
Oh,
could
yes.
ever rear.
especially the young ones.
Oh Lord Jesus, these goats. There's a reason why they call them kids, you know,
Yeah.
because they troublesome worse than children, you know.
Yes. Yes.
These
And they can
animals.
jump.
I've seen these animals jump over fence,
They can jump.
climb fence, burrow
Yeah.
under fence, break down fence. I think you have to. What word did the guy use?
Syndicate.
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 Syndicate. I think you have to syndicate them at night for your neighbors to have peace because they are so troublesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel that's why people like curry goats, so
Yeah. Now goats are. They say when goats eat your garden, Angie, it's worse than it's not growing again. I don't know how true that is.
because they eat it clean down to the
Yes.
root.
But especially goats. People who rear goats, they have to make sure that they can secure those animals because they are very destructive and they are not easy to catch. You don't think you catching a goat
Boy, let me tell you.
just because you want to catch it,
Let me tell
you
you.
know, especially the young ones.
We had some goats that knew exactly what they were doing. Foster, these goats knew exactly what they were doing. They would escape the pen, go and destroy people's things, and come back in the pen like they never did anything. Those were criminal goats.
Yes, yes. But I mean the I don't know why people like the meat so. It has a strong smell. I don't really like goat meat, but
That's if you don't know
it
how to
sells
prepare
a
it.
lot.
That's if you don't know how to
It
prepare
is
it, Foster.
expensive and lately you have had a series of thefts of goats. I mean my brother had two goats in he was cherishing the goats were that high, according to a certain minister. They had that high. And he would all now so and cheap, 6 o'clock that goat would be by the house already. You take it out from the pasture and put it there. And about 2 days before Christmas, the goat said made a disappearing act.
What? Before
And we're talking
Christmas?
about billy goats, those big goats. And people lost a lot of animals, especially in the Mac area, Cul-de-sac areas, especially goats. So, per their Lasny and the authorities help the per their Lasny people because you will not only just be helping law enforcement, you'll be helping, you might possibly be even helping solve a lot of thefts and possibly more serious offenses. Because people ain't playing. When they lose 4, 5, 6 goats, the people say they ain't playing. You know, you have people start going back into their books and try and get back
their
the
books.
animals. Yeah.
No, but honestly, it's tough to rear animals. If you're an animal farmer, it's tough. I've seen it. I mean, all my life we've had animals on the farm, except now we've had pigs, goats, sheep, cows, and even shrimp, and now ducks. So it's tough to rear animals. It's tough, you know. I once had a chicken that laid blue eggs. That is not a joke, not an
Yeah.
exaggeration. I had a chicken that laid blue eggs, and this guy, it was my pet chicken, except it was very indiscreet, kind of like the owner, because my daughter had this inflatable tub, and the chicken stood there and watched me make all my effort and blow up the tub. And as soon as I set it down, just walk up to it, look at it, and just peck a hole in it. And it did that like every time. And I tell you, these animals know what they're doing. And this individual was driving on the, because we were in the front and there are farms all the way to the back. This guy was speeding on that road. That's a private road. And bonks my chicken. You know? How could you do something like that?
So did you eat it?
No. Just so he just killed my chicken.
So how much he paid you, Angie?
Nothing.
Huh?
He just said he didn't see it. He's sorry. You know?
At that time, man, you didn't know, you didn't want compensation, man.
I was little.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't have custody suites yet, so I was little. And then there was one time somebody was driving past and we had some puppies. This person just slowed down, opened their vehicle door, pick up the puppy and drive off because they saw only my little nephew standing in the yard. You know, the child was heartbroken
Yeah.
because he had already named all the puppies. People do things.
Oh yes, oh yes. And especially children.
And it's not
children
just,
love their
children love their animals.
pets,
And
you know.
people, let me tell you, those goats used to drive us crazy. You would have to be checking checking on them all the time, making sure they're not going in anybody's garden, you know. And you have to be so careful. I mean, I even had, and not just goats. People would come, and that's a true story. People would come to our farm You just see somebody passing in for Cali. And you'd ask, hey, where you going? I going to pick two breadfruit in your tree. And one individual said to my mother, well, say, Ugini, so say, Lamoni Puvina Point. That's what she's literally saying.
Yeah.
So people have no respect for farmers. I mean, if my my mom is a very mild-mannered kind of person, she would not make a fuss over that because she tell you she rather the person eats. She rather she give them food than, go hungry. And again, we have the tree, they can't take the tree. Anytime we complain when somebody steals our mangoes, our breadfruit, our grapefruit, whatever, she'll say, listen, you have the tree. They cannot take the tree. I suspect very soon people might be stealing trees. Because things getting rough.
Some people, if they're going to approach your tree and go with it, Angie,
yeah,
so they won't have to come back for you to see them.
My mom,
but it's true. It's true.
I mean, just recently, there's an individual that plays as if he's the biggest. He have the most things. He always boasting about what he have. And one time, some time ago, I caught him stealing blocks. We had some blocks then. I caught him stealing the blocks. And then recently, my mom is saying, she and my brother were there. They put a pile of produce there and they went to do something. But that was produce that was rejected for market. And she forgot something, so she's coming back and the guy is coming out of the pile of produce with a bag.
Mm-hmm.
And she just looked at him, shook her head, and you have to be a very nice person to do something like that. If he had done that in Mark.
I tell you.
But farmers are going through it. And these days things are very expensive. Also, you cannot get $3 sweet peppers by the market again. Seasoning pepper, seasoning pepper.
What are you talking about, Angie? Somebody will come and sell $3 pepper for you. The pepper, when you see it's in the people buy their clay bags and they put that. That's $10.
$5.
Upwards.
$5 and up.
So don't think you get in $2 and $3 anything again. Not even green fig, you get in $2 green fig.
Foster green fig is real green gold now, eh?
That's why I buy those things at the supermarket, Angie. Because when I buy green fig, I buy 6 grains of green fig. I don't want to buy 20 grains. Whenever I do that. So I buy green figs for me to cook for the day. So I buy 6 grains of green fig and I pay for it.
Wow.
But if you go by the market and you ask, nobody will sell you 6 grains of green fig.
Foster, let me tell you. You do not pass by somebody's farm and pick up a 100 green fig underneath the tree. Eh?
Oh, let me tell you.
Your hand might join the green fig underneath the tree.
People have started opening their books because everybody now looking at the bottom line. All right, so people, that's what we really say, because everything have its implication.
Yeah.
If the farmer, and nowadays people don't even box banana. When I remember when bananas were being boxed and so on, you would pass by and there would be a section where they have reject fig and you get 5-6 cents of green fig. The people will just give you that. Nowadays, that's not happening. Do they still sell bananas? I'm not seeing banana boxes. They still export bananas? Oh.
I don't know.
So
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Measured.
I have to check. But if they are, it's very low.
Everything is being measured now, Angie, because of the times that we're living in. Everything is getting tight, and everybody's trying to get value for the dollar, for their produce. So we want to move to another area, and before I want to spend some time on. Let me give the Prime Minister some little attention there. Our Prime Minister.
Before that, let's take a quick commercial break.
Yes.
Because we have to pay the bills, and I need to buy my $3 sweet peppers by the market. So, guys, taking a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Is your solar water heater tank leaking, worn out, or no longer performing efficiently? Upgrade your unit without the cost of a completely new system. Tropical Solar now offers tank upgrades and replacements for existing solar water heating units, including systems from other brands. Keep your existing heating panel and replace the tank with a reliable Tropical Solar tank designed for lasting performance and efficiency. Need a panel replacement too? Tropical Solar can help with that as well. Call Tropical Solar today for more information. In Castries, 453-1868. In Grosenay, 450-8201. And in Vieux-Fort, 454-6344. Tropical Solar, giving new life to your existing solar water heating system.
You already know the power of Licks products on your clothes and household. You Licks your whites and clean clothes, leaving them fresh and scented. You Licks your dishes and left your hands protected with vitamin E. You Licks your floors, even Licks your toilets. Now we expand and bring you 3 new scents in our fabric softener: Balmy Sunshine, Summer Sunshine, and Thousand Flowers. And Licks those stains off of colored clothes with Licks Color Safe Bleach. Let's went even further with Bondicare body soap bars in deodorant and antibacterial. So let's tiredness and bacteria out and refresh your taste. Your products giving you licks, then choose licks from Canadian Distribution Inc. Available at all leading supermarkets.
Meet the summer heat with a relaxing ride down the Ozarka. With your cares behind as you immerse yourself in the tranquility of nature. Kids home from school, no problem. Take them home on an awesome kids-fun adventure. St. Lucia Bamboo Rafting introduces its Summer River Special. Start with a welcome cocktail to set the mood. Then enjoy a 90-minute guided tour and a cooler filled with drinks for your refreshment. Tours start from 9:30 a.m. and go out every 2 hours with the last tour at 3:30 p.m. Adults pay 100 EC per person. Kids ages 5 to 11 years old, 50 EC. We are located in the Yuzu Valley, next to St. Lucia Distillers. For reservations, call 1-758-720-2020. Don't forget to like St. Lucia Bamboo Rafting on Facebook and Instagram. St. Lucia Bamboo Rafting. Let us take you from stressed to relaxed in 90 minutes flat. Looking for a new way to enjoy your St. Lucia vacation? Book a tailor-made tour with Sea Breeze Adventures. Explore the island's untouched natural beauty as you visit hidden coves and beaches along the coastline with any one of our whole or half-day excursions. We offer a variety of adventure opportunities, including sport fishing, sunset cruises, island adventures, whale and dolphin watching, and spotted taxi service. To book, contact Captain Warren at telephone number 1-758-713-3196. Seabreeze Adventures, not just a tour, but an adventure.
All right, guys, we're back here on Fire 107.7 FM, and this is Full Disclosure. Mr. Chico?
Okay, so Angie, the Prime Minister was responding to a question from the media, I think 2 Mondays ago. And it had something to do, the question referenced a statement made by the opposition, and towards the government. And the Prime Minister, rather than answering the question, his response was, if you want to talk to me, he's speaking to the media person. If you ask me about persons who have money paying for elections on elections day, We can talk about that. But he's not going to answer the question that they ask him. And the Prime Minister continues to do those things because nobody is challenging the Prime Minister. When he gives a ridiculous answer to a question like that, you should let him talk. And when he's done, ask him the question again. For him to realize that he have not, what he just said there was not an answer to what you ask him. But they giggle and he when he made that statement, he was referencing two incidents that happened on election day that we are well aware of. It was widely circulated that questions were asked of Guy Joseph and Tommy Descat. So much so that Tommy Descat, it was even said that he was arrested, taken down to CID. Moments later in the evening, you saw his ID card and two other persons' ID card, allegedly taken, photos of it taken from CID.
Now, I
Descat
wanted
CID.
to ask about that. Is that legal, though?
What is the
photo?
The photos being sent on social media? Well, you know it was done maliciously by whoever took them into custody. But I believe I've heard Tommy Descat. Well, he did give a media a statement,
press conference, yeah.
to the media. But when that comes, when the Prime Minister would repeat that as though that's fact, that's factual. He says that in Parliament, he says that on his little press conferences, and you'd want to believe, Angie, we should not be doubting the Prime Minister when he says things, you know, especially when he says it on a national platform.
Yep.
But now you have to question everything the Prime Minister said, because the Prime Minister is there solely for politics. The Prime Minister is not governing the country, you know. The Prime Minister is there just to say that he won.
He's protecting the victory.
Because when you can say, okay, you want to say Tommy had money and then the police brought him down. So why didn't the police bring down, I can ask questions, you know. Why didn't the police bring down the other MPs from the St. Lucia Labour Party who were accused of having money and going around at the wharf on a bus, and certain lawyers who were with them? We have the clips, Angie. We have the clips. I wasn't the one who recorded it. Huh? When a certain lawyer...
Wasn't me either.
When a certain lawyer is dressed all in red and is driving around a known supporter of a particular MP of Castries, going around paying people money to go and vote, and people are calling him, Bossman, we ain't get paid yet. And he's pulling over and they enter in the bus. What is he doing? That's not paying them money.
Well, you see, what had happened was, I wasn't there, I don't know.
But the Prime Minister will not say that at all. One MP actually met a police officer and tell the police officer, just when the police officer would have made inquiries from him, of him, he tell the police officer, I received a report on you, you know. Can you believe that?
Wait. Wait. According to my sister, pause for what it cause.
Pause for cause.
The
You want me to
MP.
say it again?
Hold on. I think so. Repeat.
An MP from a certain city in central in
Castries.
Whilst approaching a polling station, sees a police officer dressed in uniform there, who had just received information on colleagues of that MP passing around, giving money, paying people. That politician stops by the police officer and is as telling him that he, the politician, just received a report against the policeman.
Yeah, that's the part I don't understand. Isn't it the police that's supposed to receive reports?
And you uele koshi, uele koshi, ekusa police la salve, police la kay dubutu.
So ka report ko.
So ka report ko, me ou pa report ko, ou ka report police la ki ukwe that he a bad ka dubutu.
That reminds me of a
So
poem.
you informing the policeman that, hey, I know you know what I'm doing, you know, but you know I receive a report against you.
So that's the crooked. There was a crooked man who walked a crooked mile,
Yes.
and that's the crooked sixpence
That's a
he find on the
That's a
tile.
crooked MP. The crooked MP is telling the uniform officer that he received a report against him.
You think maybe the MP was a little confused and thought he was the police officer?
Well, that MP think is everything. So,
Pastor, you are easy.
so that's what the Prime Minister is failing to do. He's failing to speak the truth about things. So if it's against his people, he never hear it. Oh, I didn't hear that. Or I don't listen to his show.
Now,
I'm going to talk to
Foster,
him.
in that same clip that you listened to of the Prime Minister, didn't you hear the Prime Minister saying when he was questioned by reporters about why is it that he allows a certain minister or MP as you call them to go on a Thursday night show and be so aggressive? The Prime Minister said, and I quote, "That young man is being attacked, you know. They're attacking him. They say the worst things about
Is that a
him."
recent one? A recent clip?
The same time,
Yeah?
he said that after
But
he said all that.
Philip didn't remember. He was the one attacking. He and Kenny Anthony and Alva Baptiste and Emma Hippolyte were the ones attacking Richard. You don't remember that?
He said he has been attacked. He didn't say by who.
So the MP is being attacked, so that he uses his show to defend himself.
Yes.
That's what the Prime Minister is saying.
And I've told that young man that's not the way to deal with it. But everybody is not me. Prime Minister's words. And I quote,
Boy, according to the old people, low pass through the carton bagay. That's why I tell you that Prime Minister, and you see the government, Angie,
administration, please.
I cannot find three people, two people in that whole SLP that I can put them on an integrity scale and for it to shift the scale, you know.
Caller, I mean me caller. You get me confused now, Foster. Foster, you can't find one. You're looking for two?
You're right.
You can't find one.
You're right.
That's
All
all.
those guys have been doing from the time I know myself, the SLP. All the SLP have been doing from the time they get involved in politics is to confuse the people, fool the people, abuse the people for them to win. The bottom line for SLP is being in power, you know. SLP don't think long term. That's why they don't have a plan. Their plan, they put their plan in place just when they're about to call election. Before that, SLP has no insight. They make no preparation. They have no plan to win the election. You see, if Philippi had planned to call election December 1st, up to October, November, Philippi had no plan, you know. He just know that when he within the 21 days of calling the election, that's when he enrolled in unveiling his plan.
You know, I honestly,
the plan was
that
money.
plan, I was
The
just about
plan
to
was
say,
just money,
I was just about to say that
distribute money.
this election came out as if, you know, when you're waiting for your salary to come to pay your bills,
Yeah.
as the salary come, you rush, and that's how it happened.
Angie, we were meeting and we were saying, election cannot be, SLP have never called, and that goes on Philippia's report book.
Mm-hmm.
Philippia is the only leader of SLP who cannot find 17 candidates. Julian Hunt was Lapo as he was Lapo. Julian Hunt always filled his 17 candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Anthony did. Philippia on two consecutive elections could not get 17 candidates.
Well, I heard it as pay people not to vote. Maybe they're paying people not to go up. I don't know. I'm just checking.
Because now some people say that's strategy. Of course the man can get something. Of course I believe he could have gotten two people, even though it's people by the market he take two candidates and put in central or north. He can take any two people and put. He have supporters in
He can run
North.
for 2 seats.
Well, I wish he could have run for 2 seats.
Consolidate the constituency.
People will say that's strategy. That's strategy.
That's
You
kind of
cannot
like,
get
hold
17
on, wait.
candidates. That's strategy.
Saying that not sending two candidates is strategy after the fact is like saying God works in mysterious ways. You confused. You
Yes.
don't know what happened. Just
Yes.
say you don't know what happened. Stop defending for defending sake. Strategy, my foot.
Because if Philippia had taken two candidates for that seat, there is a 99% chance
SLP would win.
that SLP would lost Castries North and Castries Central with 3 candidates going up in that election. So the SLP people will say, boy, that's not cheating, that's strategy. There is a famous person who said that's strategy. What people call strategy, it might be cheating. But if some people don't see it as that, they see it as political wizardry.
I'm of the firm belief that even a broken clock is right twice a day. So
Yes. The time is right twice a day.
even a broken
You know?
clock. But
So,
Foster, we have some people. Hold on. Oh, no, go ahead.
so the Prime Minister, don't let us not make any excuses for the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister knows what he's doing. He might have a very funny way or half-crack way of doing his things, but he knows what he's
PJP
doing.
works in mysterious
He knows how to get his thing done. His strategy is done. All right, but Angie, what I did over the last election cycle there, I remember was it every day? Every day or every weekend, every week, I would have a slogan. And it's normally a quote from a politician. I used to carry that on the back windscreen of my vehicle. And within the last election period, I think I may have had about close to 200 of them. And my plan was ready to put it in the form of a little booklet. I still have that plan. And I want to thank our secretary of the Castries group at the time. She was the one putting it together for me. I will work towards getting that completed. And I promise that I will probably do a similar one for this new term, this SLP government. Because over the weekend I was listening to a debate in the Trinidad Parliament, Angie. You would have known that there is a state of emergency going on now in Trinidad. reference to crime, high crime. Well, it was just extended to another 3 months from Friday. 3 months. It was the first 3 months expired, and there was a debate to extend it. What did we see? The PNM, the last administration of Trinidad, who did 2 terms in government, 10 years, are creating the similar, when you hear the rhetoric of the PNM in Trinidad, the Red Party in Trinidad,
You feel
that's
like
the Labour Party in St. Lucia.
You feel like you're home. You feel quite at home.
That's the Labour Party of St. Lucia. Angie.
Wow.
And I've sent you a clip, and we'll play that clip, even though not in its entirety. But we'll play that clip of the Prime Minister of Trinidad, Miss Kamala,
I see it.
indicating why the country needs a state of emergency to extend it. Angie, Trinidad and Tobago, we know how crime, especially homicides, are prevalent in Trinidad, high in Trinidad.
Yep.
For just 3 years, 4 years, Angie, 2022, 23, 24, and 25. Homicides. 2022 had a record, Angie, of 605 homicides.
Oh my goodness.
Now, it is very high when you think of Trinidad, one country, compared to where we get in 70 and so on. And you saying, boy, 600 is high. But Trinidad, when you look at per capita, Trinidad is not as bad as us.
Wow.
Trinidad has nearly 3 million people. How many people do we have, Angie? Trinidad has more than almost, how many? 40 times our population.
Boy.
So Angie, Trinidad, 2022, Trinidad has 605 homicides. 23, it went down to 577. 24, it went back up to 626.
I think you're reading that backwards, you know. Or 23, 22, and 24.
22, 23, 24, and 25.
Well, we'll start with 22 because I think you...
22, 605. Which one did I see was the record highest?
And how much for 23?
577.
2024?
626.
Wow.
And 2025, 369. Now, 2025 was the election. What date was the elections in Trinidad? No, 2025.
I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know if you notice, but my flag is blue, white, black, and yellow, not red, white, and black.
So, let us say a bit of the prime ministers, and then we'll show the link between PNM in Trinidad and the St. Lucia Labour Party.
Foster, you know you can't just send me clips. You have to send me clips in a way that I can...
Check your...
Okay, let's see what I can do here.
Check your...
Guys, Foster always just stretching the limits of my technological prowess, you know. But here we go. I got you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It is now 10:41.
Yes.
And I want to congratulate the Honorable Attorney General, the other members who spoke on this side, in this motion before the House at this time. I think we need to get back to why we were here, or what we are doing here. And therefore, I will take this opportunity to read the motion, because in listening to some of the comments from the other side, I think those members have forgotten what has transpired to bring us, not just in terms of the crime, but in terms of the law and the motion we are now attempting to carry forward. So let's read it. Whereas it is enacted by Section 8.1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the President may from time to time make a proclamation declaring that a state of public emergency exists. Mr. Speaker, we may well understand, in this case, President, on the advice of the Cabinet. The motion continues. And whereas the President has by proclamation made on the second day of March 2026, declared that a state of public emergency exists in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago with effect from the 3rd March 2026. We want to pay, please, Mr. Speaker, attention to these dates. Further, the motion recites, and whereas it is enacted by Section 9.2 of the Constitution, that a proclamation made by the President for the purposes of and in accordance with Section 8 shall, unless previously revoked, remain in force for 15 days. And whereas it is enacted by Section 10.1 of the Constitution, that before its expiration, the proclamation may be extended from time to time by a resolution supported by a simple majority vote of the House of Representatives. So, however, no extension exceeds 3 months, and the extension does not in the aggregate exceed 6 months. Motion continues to recite. And whereas on the 13th day of March 2026, the proclamation was extended by resolution of the House of Representatives for a further period of 3 months. Further, whereas it is necessary and expedient that the proclamation made by the President on the 2nd day of March 26, declaring that the state of emergency exists in the Republic of TNT, with effect from 3rd March 2026, should be extended for a further period not exceeding 3 months. Now therefore, and this is what we are being asked to agree to, the resolution, be it resolved that the proclamation made by the President on the 2nd day of March 2026, declaring that a state of public emergency exists in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, with effect from the 3rd March 2026, be extended for a further period of 3 months. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't know if it is, AG, Law 101? 2 lawyers have spoken in this chamber from the other side today and did not understand that the basis of why we are here today is back to the proclamation made and the reasons given by Her Excellency the President on the 2nd day of March as printed, and I will read from that statement. So when you come to say, what is the crime, what is the problem, why are we here, what are we doing, this was set back way back. The reasons for the proclamation were said way back since the 3rd of March. Her Excellency told us that. So both the member for Arima and the member for Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West, is here trying to tell us, well, come and tell us, why are you bringing this thing today? Why? I'll tell you why. You want to know what it is. You're saying it's crime. What crime? What is the big deal now to come for this extension? And this is why the proclamation that the President made, and I read from that statement signed by Her Excellency on the 4th of March, reads as follows. On March 2nd, 2026, I was informed by Cabinet, this is Her Excellency, I was informed by Cabinet that within the last several days, a number of violent criminal activities had taken place, with mass shootings and multiple victims, most of which have been carried forward by members of organized criminal gangs, which have endangered the public safety. Cabinet further informed that there have also been credible threats to attack police officers, prison officers, and other members of the protective services. I pause, Mr. Speaker. Note it doesn't mention members of Parliament. It says, credible threats to attack police officers, prison officers, and other members of the protective services. The statement, a proclamation for Her Excellency continues. Additionally, Cabinet advised that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Intelligence informed the Minister of Homeland Security, who in turn informed the National Security Council, that criminal gangs in the islands of Trinidad and Tobago have increased acts of violence on a scale so extensive that it threatens persons and will endanger public safety. Accordingly, the National Security Council was of the view it was necessary to take immediate action. Excellency continues. Having considered the information provided and given the above premises, I was satisfied that action has been taken or is immediately threatened by any person of such a nature and on so extensive a scale as to be likely to endanger the public safety to the extent that warranted the declaration of a state of emergency. This is a genesis, this is a basis on which the proclamation was made in the first place, dated 4th March 2026. Christine Carla Kangaloo, ORTT. So that is why we are here today. We are following through, coming from there. That was a grounds, that was a basis. And therefore I'm very surprised that no member on the other side remembered where this proclamation came from and the basis on which it was made. And that is what we stand by today in providing the information. Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so Angie and listeners, further down into that speech here by the Prime Minister, she would have continued to outline the need for the state of emergency, the number of murders Trinidad has been grappling with. You're looking at between 500 and 700 homicides for the last 10 years. That's 5,000 to 7,000.
You have to specify it's per year.
Yeah, per year. Between 5,000 to 7,000 persons killed in the last 10 years in Trinidad. Wow. Angie. And that's homicide alone, you know. There are kidnapping and robberies and things in it yet, you know.
Wow.
Under the PNM, just like it happens in St. Lucia under the SLP every time they're in power. But listen to the MPs and some of the ridiculous statements you heard from the MPs from the PNM in that debate, Angie. Yes. Racial statements. Okay, the same thing SLP is doing here.
You swear you at the 5th floor of the Graham Louise building?
I'm telling you. Every time you listen to a party in opposition, especially a Labour Party that's just lost.
Or just one.
Oh, yes. You'd wonder who they are really protecting, Angie, or who they really representing. When we had the state of emergency here for COVID, you remember trouble the Labour Party gave, Angie?
Yep.
You remember trouble when there was going to be an extension? When the state of emergency was expiring and they needed an extension of it, just like what Trinidad did there on Friday. Can you recall, you remember what SLP did? The senators boycotted the parliament. And for the first time, I know, substitute senators had to be brought in to convene Parliament to have the state of emergency extended. Even the independent senators, people like Adrian Oshie and what's the others, reported sick because it was a whole plan. That's not long ago, Angie.
5 years.
I can remember that. I'm sure everybody can remember that. The same thing happening in Trinidad and Tobago by the same people who were in government 5 years ago, Angie. All of a sudden, they're not representing the same people again. So who were they representing 10 years ago? Not the same Trinidadians.
Boy,
And there is a young MP, I think his first name is Marcel, who made some ridiculous statement about, well, they don't like them and they don't like us and we don't like them. And he get a lot of licks for that, I tell you. They lumbaste him for that. And I thought the guy was just, but he's actually an MP. An MP of Trinidad and Tobago. The same behavior exhibited by St. Lucia Labour Party during the COVID period is the same being seen by the PNM of Trinidad and Tobago. Same thing, no different.
It almost sounds to me like that's the labor modus operandi, no matter what territory they are in.
I don't know, PNM, I would want to change the name, you know. PNM is not, it doesn't have refer to labor in the name, but their color is red. And I don't know what's to do with that red color. That when those politicians are wearing red, they can talk red ties or red shirts. They can talk that kind of nonsense, you know. Whether in parliament, whether it's in public, they can say they at any time, no matter how ridiculous they're looking or how ridiculous they're sounding, you know. COVID was no different there. We had our same share of PNM attitude within the Labour Party during COVID time. You know, breaking protocol, causing disruption all over the country with their members. And when they got into power, what did they do? Expunge the matters. The police didn't even know. The police were just told those cases will be withdrawn. So you came into power, you expunged all the criminal friends. There was an incident in Soufrière, Angie, where the guys within the town of Soufrière during COVID. And when the police came, bottles and rocks and things were pelted at the police. Police vehicles got damaged.
I remember.
You remember that? The police had to retreat. And the following morning, the police came and effected some arrests. The vehicles that were damaged in that exercise, in that activity on the night, Angie. All the persons who were arrested were released without charge after the election. The matters were withdrawn. All the convictions were expunged. In fact, most of the matters from COVID were not dealt with. So, because there was no active court at the time. So between the election campaign and that period, the matters were probably lodged, but it was not heard. So all those matters, what did the Prime Minister do, Philippe Pierre do? Expunge or withdraw the matters. We had in Castries, the people who were involved in the fracas in Castries, their matters were withdrawn too. Some of them threatened to, as a matter of fact. One person is even claiming compensation after he was arrested. Yes, that matter is within the High Court. Up to last week, I was at the High Court, and I am aware that that matter of his compensation, suing the police for arresting him during the match, is up for trial, but he wasn't at court. So is there a plan? Is there a plan for that person?
I bet I know who that person
You
is.
know
I
who?
can guess.
You know. So is there a plan for the government to pay that person compensation and just settle? Because he's a member of the government. He's a member of the party. Isn't that what they always do? Just settle and give compensation. Give compensation to the member from the, because the purse is not the purse. The purse is a public purse. That purse boy have no zip. Some I see you have a little pencil case there with a zip, 2 zips on it. But that public purse in St. Lucia don't have zip. Everybody pushing their hand in it.
Maybe it have strings. Because I was just thinking we have to find out who holding the strings for that purse. Because it can't be
They have string, Angie. They have zip. It
don't have hook and eye. It don't have button. It don't have nothing.
It have
it don't even have Velcro.
Velcro, nothing.
Jesus, you have a caller on the line. Good evening, caller. You are on the air.
Angie,
Hi.
good evening, Mr. Chico. Mr. Chico, good evening.
Good day.
I didn't want to disturb the Trini, discussion.
Yes.
But Angie, Chico, especially you, there is something on my mind that troubles me. And you know, whenever something is on my mind, Angie, for our people, I cannot keep it inside.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, our constitution speaks of us having all the positions we have on our executive, like political leader, the first and second deputies. Just like for first and second deputies for chairperson and for chairman and all the chair people, they always have a deputy, and there is a reason why there is positions of first and second deputy, because anything can happen in the moments of urgency. Yes. or illness. The deputies step in place, right? Isn't that correct?
Right.
Mr. Chico,
right.
Angie?
You're right.
Okay. Right. Now, sometimes our people must not let people bamboos and boogaloo their heads, because it's this bamboozing and boogalooing that has caused them to do things and say things, and yet they proportionate blame into one area as to why we lost the election. Our political leader is a businessman. Okay, he has to be overseas for business. He has a sick father in being convalescent. He has an alien mother. Okay, he cannot be here at this time. We have no big deal. We have 1 and 2 after him, of course.
Yes.
We have a deputy political leader, first deputy. We heard that his brother is undergoing serious medical illness, and he's with the brother. So obviously, the second deputy has to jump into the space, because that's the position we at convention give him. Yeah. That's in the constitution. We don't give people position for them to sit down and walk around with titles. They're supposed to use the title for the benefit of the party.
Yes.
Now, because this is what has been coming to me that get me so upset. Because the second deputy is out there meeting the constituency groups, meeting the constituents, raising this, meeting different factions, trying with the rebuilding of the party, putting things back in place. If we had this party,
Yes. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah. Hmm. Right.
Now it's not just the party, Auntie Joyce, right here on Fire FM, and I can say this on air. There are people when I'm on the live will come and say, "Oh, this needs to be improved. That needs to be improved. Why we cannot get this and why we cannot get that?" And you know what I say to them? And if you check the live, I await your check to that end.
Yeah.
I await your monetary
Our people,
contribution.
and some of them didn't even vote. They're telling you they didn't get that, so they didn't vote.
Yeah.
But they want to give instructions. Yes. Not even WhatsApp. Not even WhatsApp. They WhatsApp in a comment, but they want everything done well.
Oh yes.
Yes.
You will
Just
stop.
just Friday, I had a conversation to that end with someone. This person came and told me, "Oh, if we don't change our leader, we will never win an election. The man cannot win." I say, "When did he lose his seat?"
Ah.
Fact. Exactly. You're damn right.
When did he lose his
Yes.
seat? And the
That's
person
what you have
say,
to tell them.
but he cannot win an election. I say, let me tell you something. Do you agree that
Is he
every
not winning an election?
I say,
He-
hold on. Do you agree that every MP's job is to win their constituency? Yes. Okay.
Oh.
Then that means he did his job, right? His job was to win his constituency. He won, right? So when you take out a
Correct.
leader who never loses seat, who you going to put? You that never run an election? I said, do me a
Yeah,
favor.
and what they do?
I said, do me a favor. When you see me, don't speak, because I don't like to hear nonsense.
That is it.
And I walked
Yes.
off.
Don't come in front of me. I don't want to see them because I said to them already. Okay? All MPs, all prospective MPs, all people that want to be reps should be working with the constituency branch. And they should be working with to move out in the constituency, to know the constituency for the years that we are there. So by the time it comes that they decide that they want to run, everybody know them. And they have to take an active role in the constituency branches because it's very important who is the chairman on the constituency branch, who are the people on the executive. Because when you put in people that all they care about is just to say they have a title, they can sit down on executive meeting, and most of them are just snakes. You know that song, Chico? Too many da 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 da. I can't remember the words, but you know I know.
Yes.
Don't know that thing. So all that comes in my mind when I hear that thing, I just know the pastor passing by, but da 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 da. Too many snakes in the damn camp. That is why we have trouble. Because all they're doing is complaining instead of actually coming out and do something. So when they come, I will stand in their face and say, what are you doing? See that your constituency branch, we come up for convention. Make sure the people that you put there as chairman is people that don't want to just have a title so they can go and sit on national executive. Put people there that you see that care, that know who died, who's poor, who don't have, who's sick, that they have an executive that's working for you. It is your business to see them because the strongest link for us to win an election is the constituency branch.
Right.
Because they that know the people in the constituency so they can help the reps. The political leader cannot lead the party and no, I supposed to know all the people in the
Yeah. He cannot know everybody.
I'm mad. So what's the point of having a constituency branch?
Exactly.
So that is what's getting me, but our people not thinking. They're encouraging people that gossiping about us and criticizing us and they're joining them. And they're not seeing Labour not doing that. If I go and join Labour tomorrow, let me tell you something, they're putting wings on a halo on my head.
Oh, yes.
And the best thing since sliced bread.
Oh, yes.
Okay? They will give me wings. They defend the same people that they will criticize now. They join Labour tomorrow and they will defend them and circle them. But we
Which is
inside, we are
exactly
like a
what I was
bunch of-
just telling
They-
Chico.
Yes.
I just told Chico the Prime Minister was on the pre-cabinet press briefing last week defending Richard Frederick, talking about how people say the vilest things about Richard Frederick, how people are, we have a call on the
I've
line.
heard some people who were flabos months ago. They now say now Richard Frederick is second to Moses.
Yes, and it's they that call him Chico, they that call him a white man, eh?
Yeah.
The people, the callers say they're not hearing my voice, Angie.
Oh,
Okay?
that's because
He
hello. Boy, sometimes I have to do a little MacGyver for the Michael. Just hold on. Just hold on. There's a bit of a. Sometimes I have to do a little MacGyver. I can hear you, but I don't know if you're going out because we just hold the line. Just hold the line. I was getting a call on the landline. Okay. Can you?
You hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yes. Kenneth, Kenny Anthony was father who was a colonist, a white colonist. Same like Alan Chancellor. But Alan Chancellor did not have a white colonist for a father. You
Yes.
ever hear Labour call Kenny Anthony white man? But I have heard from with my own ears say This white man thing, it's probably not good for us. We need to change the white man.
Because Labour knows you know what I asked, not to cut you short, Auntie Joyce, you know what I asked the same individual? I said to him, do you believe somebody who is opposing you, somebody who doesn't want to see you go forward, somebody who does not want to see you prosper or win, you think that person will give you good advice? And I said, and I also said, sorry to cut you short, Auntie Joyce, you know what I said? I said, let me tell you something. If Alan Chastanet is a weak leader, if Alan Chastanet is a bad leader, if Alan Chastanet is not deserving, take your candidate and come and beat him.
Right. Trying to form your own party. If you believe UWP is not the opposition party, form your own party and come. Yes. Yeah. Caller, you say somebody calling Alan Chastanet old?
Hold on. When you say we, slow down. I defended Guy Joseph, and I still defend him, and I will never stop defending him. And I have people passing by my home and giving me maple for defending him, and I don't care. I'm giving them more maple. Somebody said to me, "Oh, Guy Joseph Bobolis Ivole Lahapeya." You know what I said? I said, and I quote, and I say it on the air. This is what I said. I say, Guy Joseph Pavole. Si pour la Hapeya, c'est bonus liquide là. Because it was assez pour lui. And when I tell you that, what can you tell me? Mm, exactly.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Everybody can challenge the leadership. True. Exactly. Caller, don't stress yourself with our
Let me
old
head
people.
in.
You see, our old people, some of them have come with that nonsense. Let me tell you,
Hold
if
on,
if they voted
put my glasses on.
as UWP out 70, not, they would still tell you, Alan Chastney need to come and speak about that. Alan, you didn't vote the man, but you want him to come and speak. You want him to go your energy. She asked you if
No, no, no. Don't hang up. Let me just. You see, it's an issue with the connection. It's an issue with the connection right here. But the thing is, I cannot hear what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is what is going out, what you're saying. But the we have a little connection issue right here, and I don't know. I shifted the okay. One moment, one moment, Auntie Joyce, just one moment. Caller, listeners, or especially those on the live, um, can you just let me know if you can hear the caller, because unfortunately I shifted something, and I shifted this right here.
somebody says it's good.
It's good now. Okay, great. All right. 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 I agree. I agree. I agree. Oh my God. Auntie Joyce, could you hang up? Hold on. Auntie Joyce, could you hang up and call on the landline, please? Because I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to disconnect this and reconnect it. So call on the landline. Same thing, same number. 75723473. Same number. No, no, because the WhatsApp, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to hold on. Let me just disconnect this and reconnect it. I don't know. I All right. Keep. Okay, I see it's connected.
Just hang up and try and call back.
Yeah, what I did was I shifted the thing. I forgot I put it there for a reason, and I shifted it, and then the call the sound disconnected. But
So they're hearing now? Ask them, ask the callers to the viewers to say if they're
guys,
hearing.
they will hear me, but they you have to speak. Guys, are you hearing the caller? Please let me know, because
So do you want me to hang up and call back?
oh, they can hear you now. They can hear you.
No, I feel I can hear nothing.
No, that was before.
Oh, marvelous. Auntie Joycelyn can be heard. Okay. My darlings, Auntie Joycelyn was doing her usual monthly rant because somebody think that they can call me and they should know I'm a disciplined individual. I love my party, I love my people. I don't care if yesterday I meet Angie and I tell Angie, your fatherhead. Tomorrow somebody come and tell me Angie's fatherhead and I'm ready to beat them. Because Angie's of my party. I'm just like SLP. I am just as loyal to them. Okay? And I think it is high time we stop telling all the too many snakes in the camp. Tell them, let us get snake extermination and tell them, go to hell. Don't come and criticize my party. Don't come and tell me what you can do for the party.
That's right. And
Big Fede, all about trying to build up himself. The two political leaders are not there. They're both overseas on dealing with illness and family illness and family emergencies. Alan Pojabi have two on his hand, his mother and father. Okay, you think he can just let his mother and father die, and when he finish, the party might give him a kick? He has to see about his family. Hasn't he given enough of his financial and physical resources for the party? But why? So they put the second deputy there. He is doing his job, and now you're saying he's trying to pick up himself. The man is a human being. He has heart, he feeling too. He's seen he giving himself, he giving his family, his business behind to go all over the island, trying to the rebuilding, building up the communication, and that's what we see to say. Let the Susans come and tell us, oh, Dominic want to be leader. So what the hell if Dominic want to be leader? Did Dominic tell you he want to be leader? I can tell you one, you all can go and repeat it. Say, I say, Dominic Fede told me he would never go up as leader against Alan Chastney, but he has a right, if Alan stepped down, to go for political leader like everybody else. That's
right.
his right. He qualified as an ex-minister on business. He has a right. We
understand, you know.
Nothing about SLP. Calling them white. And they're full of old people in
Yes.
Ireland. Bring more youth in the UWP, more youth. You're hearing the youth, so SLP haven't got youth. You're not hearing them say, take out all the old people that they're in their 70s, that older than Alan, in their cabinet. You're not hearing the youth of you. Old people.
Joyce, listen. Oh, we lost her, but I hope she's okay. Auntie Joyce, you there?
Yeah, I am just tired of our people with the nonsense that Alan, that all of us, everything we on social media. Okay, and let us go. And how many of them that writing, criticizing, that say Ireland make us lose? I want them to say how many of them were involved in the constituency branches. Don't they know that the constituency branches are what makes the MPs and by extension the party win?
Let me ask you a
Because when
question.
you're in the constituency, in the community, you know everybody. You know people in your constituency. I know all the people that living in my neighborhood. So it's me that have to go and talk to them. You think Alan must come and talk to the people in my neighborhood for me? Or even the rep? That is the rep. I have to help the rep. But we must know that we are responsible. We have a personally believe that the grace law, the 2 weeks before elections, all this money and projects and small projects that was set, that caused the loss. But I think because our people would, anybody would tell me a month before election that we would lose. I say no, because I know the independent consultants from that had no connection to any of the parties here, and they were on the ground, and they were saying United Workers Party was leading this, winning this election.
We were leading.
So I know what
Listen,
happened
we
the
were
2 weeks
leading
before.
that election from day one.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah,
that
and
earlier.
SLP wasn't campaigning
The
2 weeks
way
before the campaign.
SLP did this is the leader of the SLP, the Prime Minister, was waiting for a salary to come in. And as soon as he got that windfall, he just called the election one time and just started. It's like you're waiting for your salary to go and pay your bills. As soon as it reaches in the bank, you just go to town, you go shopping, you go flow, and money started spending.
Yes.
That's what
but
won the
Angie, I'm
election,
saying to-
money.
My purpose for calling tonight, as I told you, is because these people called me to tell me this nonsense about Dominic. And I'm saying I'm putting out a thing to our people now. And I'm saying to our people, listen to me. I don't have nothing to lose if I'm not in UWP. And I have nothing to lose when we're out of power. Because I don't depend on United Workers Party for me to survive.
Right.
But I am saying to you all, I love my party, I love my people. You all know that I dance them thick and thin. And I'm saying to you all, we are up heading for convention. We need strong constituency branches so that we can have strong national executive. Go and get involved. Okay? Go and get involved. And when the so-called snakes in the camp that call themselves UWP are coming to you all with all the criticisms, as soon as they shape in front of you, tell them SLP not doing it. So why are you coming to me and tell me about it? Tell me what you're doing for the party. Please, I'm only interested in where we're going forward, in building. Okay? We lose already, so we're building now. We know why? We're building ourselves. Just block them. Stop them. We haven't got time for that now. We are on a mission to make our party strong and stay united. We had a meeting in Grosile, and I was pleasantly surprised for our constituency branch meeting that after 6 months after the law, can you imagine? That's the first time in almost 4 years I ever saw so many people at a branch meeting. I
Wow.
was so pleased. This is what I'm talking about. This is how we do it. I heard Denry was just as powerful. This is what we do. This is where we focus. And just cut out all the gossip, the scandal, the magie that coming from the SLP. When they come and tell us about our people, this, that, they ugly, they this, they can't win, tell them where to go when the sun does not shine. And let us stand firm, committed. And then we have to become badass too. You know, and deal with them,
Auntie Joyce.
because they cannot beat us.
Auntie Joyce, you cannot say that on the air, Auntie Joyce. You cannot say that on the air.
If they cannot beat us. If we become strong and united, they cannot beat us. We need to be bad. We need to be strong. We need to be like Men in Black. When they come, still be sophisticated, but when they come, take out a massive weapon and deal with them. Don't let them come around us. Because this is what we go. Nobody have the right. You want to destroy my house, and you're going to tell me who should come in and out of my house? You think I'm crazy? I don't want to see you all. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want advice from you all. Keep your advice for yourselves, because you're taking criminals and making them white saints. You're making everybody, you're defending everybody that come on your side. If not, I'm going to join SLP, you know. Because as soon as I go and join SLP, they'll put me right up there.
Auntie Joyce, if you join
Because that's what they
SLP,
like.
your heart will not be able to take it. You're not that kind of person. You?
No, I know you will be carrying me on a stretcher as soon as I
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I know that.
But if my people continue getting on like that, I'm teaching them a lesson to show them how foolish they are. Because once you step on SLP side, SLP pushing you right on top. And they're defending you to the bone. They criticize all my UWP people that will want to come and talk about me. It is time we really become united. And I'm saying this message out to our people. Go and support your branches now. The branches need you because we are preparing for convention. Pick your nene, your power, your cousin, your neighbor, your friend in the community. Drag people. Make them pay their dues because if you're a new member, you must pay 3 months before they have branch elections for you to be able to vote in the branch. If you have not paid your dues in a long time, you must, but you're a member, you need to pay 7 days before, and it is only $12. Okay, start saving a few. If you can put $2, or $1 aside until you get the $12. Pay. Join your party needs the money. Alan already sold his house in Miami to the one house he had since before he was in politics. He sold it to pay for it. He don't have again. We need to raise the money for our own party. Every branch should raise money. I was so happy. I wrote it in the chat. Rosina raised money at that meeting we had last week. I was so happy. I praised them. This is the action, the way we need to go. Raise money in our constituency branches, bring the people, build our branches, make sure that we have the right people sitting on the executive of the constituency branches so that we get a proper representation on the national executive. I'm pleading with my people, stop listening to the gossip, stop spreading the gossip, stop encouraging the people that criticizing our party and want to tell us about leadership and this and that. Tell them we don't have time for that. We want to build our party and we stand strong, united as firm foot soldiers for our party. That is what I wanted to say tonight, Angie and Chico. Thank you very much for giving me listening. Thank you, viewers. I call them my nieces and nephews and children for listening to me. Okay,
Thank
you. Thank you.
One love.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And by the way, guys, I putting you all on notice to it. Don't message me under the live, whether on Hard Talk or Full Disclosure, and tell me a Fire FM need this and Fire FM need that. Tell me, Angie, what is your bank account number? Let me send you some money so that you can do this for Fire FM. Tell me what is the account number at Shopee so I can pay on the electricity bill for y'all. But don't come with your hand swinging. Don't come with your hand swinging and tell me I need to do. Help me to do. Somebody says my party can send a rat in a box. I will be there. I will die as a UWP member. Yellow is my code. Amen, sister. I agree with you. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And it's not just about UWP or SLP. I read a comment on the live a while ago, and somebody said the problem is that Alan is such a great leader. You understand? His level, the person said his level is so high. And when you compare, people keep saying the UWP needs to rebuild. What exactly everybody on the UWP side, from what people would consider the weakest link up to the strongest root, all of these people are potential leaders, you know. When you look on the SLP side, which one of them you see that is somebody who in their own right is a success? Is it Philip J. Pierre? Philip J. Pierre, I don't, nobody knows. We know all of the things. Somebody said me about, I'll address that last comment in a bit. Somebody said, we know everything that Philip JPA is not. We know he not priest, he not police. We have a call on the line. He not economist, he not technocrat. Do we know what exactly he is? Good afternoon, caller. You are on. Good evening, caller. You are on the air.
Good evening to you, Angie, and good evening to Mr. Chico, Foster Chico.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
I want to take a different slant with regards to your discussion, if you would permit me, Angie.
Go ahead.
Our country right now, and let's face it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are facing some challenging times. We are facing a country where we do not know if it's coming or if it's going. We live in a country called St. Lucia.
We know it not coming, caller. We know it's going.
Right, it has left us, it has gone. We live in a country called St. Lucia where leadership, there's no leadership, it's leaderless. It's like a captain sailing a ship and he does not even know what direction to take. And where do we go from here? There are basic elementary stuff that St. Lucia can take care of as a country and we're not taking care of, such as your topic on Hot Talk was the city, the cleanliness of the city.
Right.
Castries right now, I don't know what to describe it. It's not a city. We have problems with our tourism. What do we do? Less people are traveling to St. Lucia. Less cruise ships come into our harbor. That's less revenue for the country.
Yeah.
We have a problem. We have issues with healthcare. A lot of persons are telling you that when they go to the hospital, it's like a horror movie. Freddy Krueger. Remember that movie, Freddy Krueger?
Oh, yeah.
That is what they have to face when they go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad. We have no medical insurance. And St. Lucians choose, again, I will always repeat that, we have choices. St. Lucians chose not to vote for medical insurance. That was offered to them. So when they go to the hospital, they have to face the music.
Mm-hmm.
With all that CIP money bandering around, you still go to the hospital and you get shabby healthcare. No bed, no medication. These are the issues that we have to face. Crime, national security, and I heard Foster Chico was talking about Trinidad and Tobago. And having lived there, I understand the situation. Trinidad and Tobago has always been a country of late, maybe for the last 30 or 40 years, the crime situation has been out of hand. Both administrations have been grappling with the issue of crime. This government, which is the current UNC administration under Kamala Persad-Bissessar, she's trying to see how she can take a grip on the crime situation with the state of emergency. Is it working? I don't think so, because when you look at the numbers so far when it comes to homicides, in a state of an emergency, it's not working. But I'm just showing it. So our issue in St. Lucia, going back home, is with national security. Where is the crime plan? No creativity. We have a government that just reinventing the wheel. We have 3 national security ministers, and I have to say 3 because we have the Prime Minister, National Security Minister, he has the portfolio, he assumed that portfolio. You have Jeremiah Norbert, who is Home Affairs Minister, and you have the Attorney General. They are the ones charged with the responsibility to ensure that our country is safe. Are they doing a good job? No. Then, to compound that now, a special prosecutor was hired. I think everybody has forgotten about the special prosecutor. This is a guy that we pay in a salary every month to do what? What are his terms of reference?
Do we know who he is? So I don't think I remember who the guy is.
Robert Innocent.
Right.
So we paid Mr. Robert Innocent, who, by the way, is my friend. I have nothing personal against Mr. Innocent. I've known him for a few years around the court system. We have paid Mr. Innocent a salary. I think persons have forgotten that the guy is been employed, you know. But we paid him a salary, thousands of dollars, to do nothing. What is his terms of reference? What he's supposed to do? We only heard that he was supposed to investigate the last administration. What are the results? People are suffering. They cannot get a job. But we're paying a special prosecutor thousands of dollars to do what? So you understand the situation that we face?
Yeah.
We have a situation of employment. Where are the new jobs? Where are the new investments? I don't see any new investment coming in. It is so because our CIP program was not managed properly. Later, then we have a situation with our visas. Most of the developing countries, look, Ireland was the recent example, are shutting the doors on St. Lucia, placing us on visa restrictions. That will have the serious repercussions for nationals, particularly those who want to seek medical attention. Are we talking about that? Are St. Lucians aware of that? Are they taking this thing seriously? I doubt it, Angie and Foster. It's like a joke. Carnival is coming. Feds, that's all. That's the only preoccupation of most St. Lucians.
I heard,
Not realizing,
not to cut you short, but I saw a police officer post on Facebook, oh, I didn't know so many of us were going to Ireland, for people to be up in arms over Ireland
that is the
facing
most
visa restrictions.
absurd.
And I'm saying this person is really
That's the
stupid
most
and ignorant.
statement somebody.
Yeah. You see, the problem is they're so politically blinded, like they have jaundice. You know, when you have jaundice, you cannot see properly. The issue is not St. Lucians having to go to Ireland. The issue is that our CIP program is not managed properly, and so there are issues with our CIP program that had to be addressed. And you have a government minister in the Minister of Tourism and Investment who refuses to bring the proper audits to the Parliament, who, by the way, is breaking the law, because according to the CIP Act, it mandates that the minister present audits to the Parliament. Is that been done? No. So countries like Ireland are closing its doors on St. Lucia. It's not about St. Lucia's having not going to Ireland. That's not the point. The point is Ireland and the UK and other countries will take action against St. Lucia. And then we were warned. St. Lucia was warned that action was coming. We refused to take heed, and as a result of that, it has serious implications for our travel to Europe. It's not about persons not having to go to Ireland. That's not the point. And then our reputation as a country is on the internet, and they say, oh, Ireland has placed a visa restriction on St. Lucia. It affects our tourism.
Yep, something must be wrong down there.
Exactly. Tourists do not just pick up their bags and go on to any destination, you know. They scout, they research before they take a trip. And when they go on the internet, which is global, and they see and they see the current situation, they would not want to come to St. Lucia, because they take into consideration that, look, this country is not politically safe, there's unrest, and that something is hanky-panky going on in this country, and they do not want to take a trip for fear that there's some instability. So that there's serious repercussions for the country. So when people talking rubbish about we don't care about, we don't have to go to Ireland, they don't understand the deeper consequences of what is happening there. What is happening there is the fact that countries of the likes of Ireland and the UK are taking decisive, drastic, draconian actions against St. Lucia, and that is the point they're missing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get my point, Angie.
No, I understand.
Yeah, you're good.
And you're right.
So when they're talking rubbish about we don't have to go to Ireland, let me tell you something, Faustin and Angie. We have St. Lucians all over the globe.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure there are St. Lucians who live in Ireland.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure there are St. Lucians who live in Australia. I'm pretty sure there are St. Lucians who live in Dubai, etc., etc.
Yep.
And these
Germany.
are serious implications for travel.
All
for
throughout
trade.
Europe. In fact, I was watching, there's this YouTube guy or TikTok, whatever. I don't know what's going on these days with the social media, but there's a social media content person who walks up to random people on the street and says, are you a native? And if the person says no, he says, okay, well, let me guess your country. And this person walked up to a guy, and they were in some European country, and the guy was giving him clues and he couldn't figure out what St. Lucia, because he's never been to St. Lucia, he's never even heard of St. Lucia, the content creator. And the guy told him, you know us St. Lucians already. When the guy told him, tell me something that they will say only in your country, and he cursed him in Creole. So the guy was trying to repeat, and he said, no, don't say that. Don't say that to any St. Lucian that you meet, because that is a curse word. And I think they were either in Romania or somewhere in, and I said, oh my God, we have St. Lucians living there?
Yes,
You would have never
believe
thought.
it or not, all over the globe, there are St.
You would have
Lucians,
never
and not just
thought.
St. Lucians, Caribbean nationals and that. So the point I'm making is, Angie, listen to this, what I'm saying. When people talking nonsense, you just have to laugh. Because they do not understand that, look here, we are living in a global village, and the world is fastly leaving St. Lucia behind. And I was on Hard Talk on your show.
Yeah.
I was drawing a reference to even when in the United States of America presently, when they clean in the streets, you don't see people with a wheelbarrow and shovel anymore cleaning the streets. There's equipment, modernized equipment to clean the streets. And when you talk like that, St. Lucians would say, some of them, the hacks, oh, you're putting down your country. No, we are in 2026. When you tell me, Foster, you know you're a police officer for over 30-something years, that we cannot get a crime plan, a serious crime plan from this government. All what they do is cosmetic. Nothing creative, nothing new. What does that tell you? When our court system is failing people, the justice system is failing people, if you're not part of a particular elite clique, you do not get fair justice.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? And no matter, don't make them fool you and tell you, oh, we open a backlog court. That is rubbish, because people have been reliably told there's some people who got their cases in that backlog court, and it was a mess. They're not getting the justice that they so deserve as a citizen. You have young men at Bodiley. That's another mess by itself. Over 10, 15 years on remand, pending the trial, cannot get a fair trial. Some of them innocent till proven guilty. What are we doing? Where is the innovation? Where is the industries that would absorb those young people in so far as technology and information and what have you? Alan Shasley attempted to start that with the ITEL BPOs and the Ojo Labs, because he understood we are moving into technology. That is where the world is going. What do we do?
Caller, it's even been suggested that ITEL BPO, Ojo Labs, has been sold.
Yes, I was told that, and I'm not surprised, because let me tell you, I don't know if you remember Angie and Foster. There was a particular MP. Well, I can mention his name because I'm giving facts here. It was said in Parliament. It's on Hansard. It was aired on national television and radio. Sean Edwards said that once the Labour Party wins the election, Ojo Labs will be no more. He said it in Parliament. You remember that? You remember that, Foster?
I think I may have heard. I didn't know who said it, but I heard something to that effect.
Sean Edwards said in Parliament, in opposition, upon assuming the government, they will close that Ojo Labs. He said it. I heard it myself. So I could mention his name because what I'm saying is factual, and we can go back to the GIS NTN clips and we can find it. So what I'm saying there will not put Fire FM in any jeopardy. It was said. That tells you the short-sightedness of people we put in government. And like anything else, Angie and Foster, when you make bad decisions, there are consequences.
That's right. Actions have consequences. So not showing up to vote has consequences.
Exactly. So the number of UWPs, and I'm targeting, I am zeroing on our supporters. The number, some of us UWPs who decided to stay home and not vote because they are whatever, and you did not vote. You know what you did? In effect, you voted for the St. Lucia Labour Party. Whether you want to twist it, whether you want to turn it, an absent vote is a vote for the incumbent. So you voted for the St. Lucia Labour Party to remain in office, and this is what you get. You have a prime minister when he has those cabinet press briefings, talks a lot of nonsense rather than answer the pertinent questions. It's a lot of nonsense he talks. Do we deserve that as a country? No. The world is watching these things, you know. World leaders are watching St. Lucia. This situation with Ireland placing visa restrictions on St. Lucia, it has serious implications for trade.
Yeah.
Do we understand that? There are certain businessmen who want to do trade with Ireland, and Ireland might be a hub to the UK to do trade. It can affect their business. Do we understand that? So when we go on social media, on Facebook, and talk nonsense and rubbish, we don't have to go to Ireland. That's not the point. It can affect commerce. It can affect business for trade. It can affect our tourism product, because the more countries, Angie and Foster, that places St. Lucia on visa restrictions, it affects our tourism. Tourists don't want to go to no country that's unstable.
Yeah.
That is common sense. That's basic. I mean, I'm saying these things because it hurts me when I see people go on social media and write foolishness, not understanding and analyzing the situation deep enough to understand that our country is fragile. St. Lucia has nothing, no natural resource. We know that. Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm going there because Foster brought up the whole Trinidad concept. So I'm going there. Trinidad and Tobago is blessed with a natural resource called oil. So they are very flexible. But yesterday, leader Kamla Persad Bissessar is very savvy enough to not ruffle feathers with the international leaders. She's playing it smart. What do? We talk so much bravado, our leaders here, so-called leaders here, so-called people we voted for, talking so much bravado. We don't need America. We don't need this one.
Remember when
Rubbish.
Alpha called him Mongoose Gang, Canada and USA and
Yeah,
the British?
he called the Canadian government leeches. We don't need them
Foolish
people.
man.
St. Lucia don't need this. St. Lucia does not in the United States.
Not even
We don't
breakfast.
have only resources we have is our human resource, and we're not making use of it. We're not doing anything creative to develop our human resource. The other thing which we are destroying slowly but surely. Where is the revenue going to come from? How are we going to sustain all that debt? And every time this SLP administration, Angie and Foster, they go to the and borrow and borrow. Our debt to GDP is high. Do St. Lucians know that and understand the desperate situation that St. Lucia is in? I think no. GDP. You ask them in the rural communities, what's GDP? They can't tell you. They don't care about that.
People couldn't even tell us what CCJ was. Is GDP they can tell us?
Exactly. The population is saying, and I'm not putting down my people, you know. I'm just being realistic because I love to be realistic here. You go to those little rural communities and say, what is GDP? Man, they ask for them. You can put a certain name by the thing. Once it's and then they go to the parliamentary offices for hand. With 6 months, they get a little $200 or $400 a fortnight. Contented with that, you know, Angie and Foster.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, that is a sad reality in St. Lucia, and that's why we keep electing bad. And that's why we keep electing bad MPs with no track record. Half of those SLP MPs never ran not even a manager, not even a coffee shop, but they handling our affairs. Our lives are in their hands. Do you understand that, St. Lucia? You elect people with no track record of any achievement. How about those SLP MPs have no track record whatsoever? Tell me before politics, what they done? Tell me, Angie.
But that's a caller. Let me tell you, when you were called, that was the point. Point I was making.
There's a
before you called, you know. Which one of them has proven themselves, has a proven track record of excellence outside of politics?
You say outside of politics?
The only one I can see is Richard Frederick, because he was an attorney. Think about it. And still, somebody said to me, every case he won on a technicality. So it's not no legal.
Wajma,
yeah.
Admitted that on the inefficiencies of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to win his cases. He said it publicly, not I saying it, he said it publicly. But I was saying this.
Ian, just to correct you on what you said. You there, Ian?
He's there.
I'm here. I'm listening. Sorry.
Plea bargain is when the police charge you with two charges, and you decide in the interest of time and to save time, judicial time, you're going to plead guilty to the more serious one, and the police will agree to drop the minor one. That's plea bargain. That's lazy lawyers who do that. That's how this man career in the court has been. And take that from me, I have been a policeman for a long time, before he started practicing.
For sir, for sir, I have no reason to doubt you.
Okay.
Because you know what you're talking about.
Well, any of them that had a track record of
what business Emma has? Bakery?
No.
They had no business.
Emma was the leader, the person in charge of the NIC for a very long time.
Yeah, but she was government job. We're talking
Then again,
about a private.
Why you all vetoing me so fast? What?
Which one? Ian asked about private enterprise.
Ian said. See, now that reminds me that NIC is going broke, and by the time I'm ready to retire, NIC might be.
That caused us to buy Blue Coral, that big empty building in town.
Yes. Okay. Okay. All right, maybe not Emma. Let me look for another one.
Try another one.
Sean was a teacher.
Try another one.
And what happened to that?
Sean. Try another one.
Oh, gee. Okay, let me roll the dice.
And you looking for
Angie, you nitpicking, You
find one. I am looking for one.
There's none, Angie. And that is a problem we face in St. Lucia. We have politicians in government who said, I have to say we, because they say the majority
I try, but
who have elected talentless leaders to manage their affairs, no track record, nothing to show for it, but yet still they're managing our affairs, and our destiny is in their hands. Do you understand, St. Lucia, our fate as a country and as a people? Half of St. Lucians don't even care about that, Angie. I gave you an analogy one time, and you almost bumped me off your shoe, but I wouldn't use it. You put a certain name by an étoile in certain rural communities, sadly, I'm not proud to say that, and they will vote for the étoile, because all they want to see is the étoile. That is the mindset of most St. Lucians. So you understand the situation in the country? I hope you are getting me, people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is why politicians will get away in St. Lucia with murder. You telling me you
Okay. We seem to have lost that caller. Caller, call back. They're saying that the problem is the device microphone. Alva calls Canada Mongoose Gang, but our passports are printed there. We have the Farm Workers Program. Past 2 weeks or so, Mia Motley and Dixon Mitchell were in Canada making deals for their countries. Where was PJP on behalf of St. Lucians? Belchesio.
As
Welcome back, caller.
Ian mentioned homicide. Oh, he's back.
Hello. Mm-hmm.
Homo, yeah, man like homos.
That's why when they say the government is working, I always like to ask them on what. Because I. Answer say Ashai. Might be more by now. Might be more. Might be more. Mm-hmm. That's you get tired and fall. New day ko data lo. All right, thank
Good
you for
night,
that.
good night.
Boy, let me tell you.
The caller said, what happened to Joyce and Dogma should never happen again. I want to agree, but what's preventing it from happening again, Angie?
I don't know.
Angie, that can happen. That very same thing can happen this evening.
Yeah.
What can happen again?
And that's
You might not even get a report on it if it happens again. But Ian mentioned in his contribution about homicides and so on. We had another homicide. I didn't even hear that mentioned, Angie.
Yeah, somebody, I didn't mention it on her talk because I thought, I know crime is your thing, so I thought you were going to,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to.
Do you know, have you read the circumstances? I heard it was a.
It was a home invasion, I think, but I can read a story. There is a
It
story
was
here.
in connection if somebody was hired to build do some construction, that there was some dispute over. It appears that it was some dispute over a house that was being built, as to whether the house is on private land or from land or whatever. That was an issue that was before that some trouble prior to the homicide.
It doesn't say here. I don't have
Is
all
the
of that
caller,
information.
is our sound good?
Yeah, we have no caller. Somebody saying you're not hearing the caller. That's because there's no caller.
Okay.
The caller has already signed off, but I don't know. Maybe this person wants to call. I can check another source, but the one here does not say.
I'm getting information that the backlog court look like it will be more backlog than it when it started.
I have a problem with that backlog court, you know, and I need to understand. Businesses need to understand
Gee, we don't even
what
take
is
time.
going on.
We don't even take time to understand why we have a backlog court in the first case.
No, because hold on.
If we don't have court is not even being heard. Of course, we must have a backlog in court cases.
It's not about that.
We're not even doing
People
anything
need to
generate.
People need to understand exactly Boy, you know this guy looks so familiar, this contractor, but people need to understand what exactly the backlog court is. You may not know this, but a family member of mine, my first cousin, a couple of years ago, was raped and murdered on Raydri Beach. And her mom, 83 years old, had a stroke, is having problems communicating. She was not able, or she has not been able to actively follow the case because she said, and she told me this personally, if she had gone to the court and listened to what this guy did to her only child, it would have been 2 deaths on his hand.
So there is a case on. Somebody was arrested.
Somebody was arrested. That person is serving time for that offense and that person is serving time for many offenses. Because I was not the first person that this person had done this to, except this is the first person I think that they have killed. I'm not sure, I may be wrong with this. But she saw me over the weekend and she said to me that she does not understand that the lawyer at the DPP's office called her and was trying to explain to her that the case was heard at the backlog court with no jury. And she said either the charges were dismissed or whatever. And the reason they gave her is because the witnesses couldn't remember because it was about maybe 10 years ago that this happened. And she doesn't understand what happened. Now, I spoke to a lawyer, a friend of mine, who said, are you sure that it was a hearing? Are you sure it was a trial or a status hearing? Because the backlog court does status hearings. Now, and then this is an 83-year-old lady. She's had a heart attack, she's had strokes. She cannot understand and she cannot communicate properly. But she's lost her only child. You understand? And the only thing that she has been praying for ever since her daughter died was for God to keep her alive so she can see justice for her child. And when you leave this person with no avenue for recourse, we don't know what's going on, we don't know what we can do about it, you know. And she's saying she lives on a pension. She doesn't have the money to hire a lawyer to apply for a fiat and, you know, try the case. An individual like that, and this is the lady's only child, you understand where I'm coming from, Foster?
And that stress will kill that lady, so she better just
exactly.
forget about
And
that.
she is saying to me, she wants justice for her daughter. She wants justice for her daughter, but what happens? Where does she go from there? And now her only choice, she's on the verge of selling her house and her property and moving back to England, because they had moved to St. Lucia from England. She had lived in England most of her life. She raised her daughter in England from a child. When she retired, she moved back to St. Lucia.
With that same daughter?
With that daughter.
That was murdered?
Yes.
And Jay, who's going to explain? We heard about the backlog court. We just heard that the court was being opened.
And we don't even know what's going on.
Anybody came back and tell us what was that court about? How are those matters? Where did those cases come from? How long back in the long cabinet for those cases. Anybody have told us that? You've heard that from anybody?
No.
You've
That's
heard
what I'm
that from the
saying.
Prime Minister? You've heard that from the Attorney General? Nobody. Everything is being done like it's just sweet lame, lave lame, sweet
Yeah. So
That's
why,
how things are being
that's why
done.
I'm saying that you need people to explain what exactly this backlog court is, what's its function, and how can people can barely maneuver in the courts we have, the first district court and second district court and high court. Now we have the Supreme Court, and I'm sure there are appellate courts and traffic court. You bring this backlog court and you just foist it on people and nobody understands what is going on. And I don't even think Philip JPA himself understands. And I'm being told that the foreign judge who sits on the bench at the backlog court, he's only contracted in St. Lucia for 1 month.
By IA is on the back burner already.
But he was
the backlog court judge is thinking of taking a back seat.
But he was only brought in for 1 month.
Angie,
only to deal
we
with
really
cases
played
for
the fool.
1
We
month.
really played
Now,
the fool in the
when
place
you have
here.
1 month to clear a backlog, how long, how big is that backlog? How big?
No, that long cabinet. How many longs that cabinet had in it, Angie?
And the guy is here for the judge. I don't know if it's a man or woman. I'm told it's a Canadian judge. Only here for 1 month.
Well, that's what you heard.
To clear
well,
the backlog.
I heard that the man already stick on that. Angie, that's no joke.
Somebody's saying they are putting a framework together. I think so. I think they put in a framework. I am confused.
A framework? Well, everything is a framework. They should have had the framework already. Angie.
Hold on, I'm trying my best to make, because listen.
Don't try to understand that.
Can you imagine, Foster? This crime was committed on my birthday. I woke up on my birthday and got a call from my aunt, and I'm thinking it's a call to say happy birthday, but it is a call to say your cousin is dead. My cousin that I was just in town with 2 days ago, laughing and joking, telling me, oh, for your birthday we're going to go and do this and whatever. I had made plans with my cousin for my birthday, so I am in the shower getting ready to go out, and I'm getting a call from my aunt to tell me that my cousin is dead. Police just come and knock on her door to tell her my cousin is dead. The police officer who responded was a family member and is saying, but the person looked familiar, turns the person around and sees it's his cousin. You know how traumatic that is? This was a very traumatic situation for my family. And then you're telling me that this individual, the perpetrator, there were witnesses who saw what happened. One of the witnesses tried to block this individual because they tried when they were trying to leave the scene and asking, where is the girl that you were there with? There were witnesses who saw this person do certain things and called the police and reported it to the police. This individual was not, it didn't take 2 days for the police to arrest him, you know.
So why is the case a cold case?
I don't know how it ended up in the backlog court. Because this individual, the persons who saw what happened, the witnesses, They were able to adequately identify this individual to the police, and the police went straight to his home and picked him up because he was already known to police. So why now are you telling me? But I need to investigate further because I don't want to believe that this is what is happening. Sometimes you hear things and you don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe that this is what is happening. But I'm saying the powers that be, you guys need to come out and explain to the public what the backlog court is, how it operates, what its purpose is, and if something goes to the backlog court and is thrown out, how do we, what are our options? We need to understand this backlog court. You cannot just come and foist something on the people and we don't understand. It's the same with the CCJ. We need to understand this. Yes, we want justice to be served because justice deferred is justice denied. But don't tell me that this individual, this perpetrator of this heinous and horrific crime gets to walk free because some tired judge is overwhelmed. And I'm not saying that this is the case, but I'm just making a reference. Some tired judge is overwhelmed and just wants to clear his desk.
Angie, the people deserve better. We are not even discussing those matters of death like we ought.
Oh, by the way, I found the information on the individual who was killed. I don't know if you want me to read the story.
Dennery? Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it says here, police are investigating the death of a Dennery contractor while his family fears it may be linked to a land dispute. The man who died was Marinus Anibafa, 52, from Gadet, Dennery. Police from the Richford station responded to a report of a body found around 7:30 a.m. This happened almost a month after family members spoke about the problems they faced while trying to build a home. At that time, an 18-year-old and his mother said their family had lived on the land for over 3 decades and had started building a more permanent home. They said the project faced repeated opposition and threats. Speaking after Anibafa's death, the young man said things became worse once construction started. That man was in problems with nobody before. He said, since I decided to make my house for my mother, it was a lot of problem, a lot of threats saying that if we build a house, they were going to be in problems. The young man said Anibafa was in charge of the construction and had worked on the property as recently as last Saturday. When the community came together to help with the project, he said the unfinished building had already been damaged twice and claimed that some people made comments hinting they were responsible. The relative also said he had received threats before. He said they reported the threats to the authorities, but he feels frustrated because he thinks not enough has been done. Another family member, speaking with emotion, described Anibafa as hardworking and peaceful. The relative recalled that the family faced many challenges after construction began and said she believes the incident might be connected to the larger dispute. According to her, the disagreement centered on plans for a road through the area and on claims that the house should not be built. She said the family has lived on the land for about 32 years and the young man started building to give his mother a better place to live. She called the situation heartbreaking. So far, police have not said if they suspect foul play or if there is any confirmed link between the death and the family's concerns.
The man was found shot.
And let me tell you, that's why sometimes
that reporter.
Sometimes I don't
who's
read.
Reporting this?
That's not the report. That's not my preferred avenue for news.
The police was called to a shooting.
But I needed information, so I took a chance.
And
I don't understand
the fact
how
that
bullet wounds are not foul play, but
Yes.
hey,
when I first heard I read part of the story and I heard from the time it started mentioning 40 years,
mhm,
and I've been on that land for 40 years, I realized it's either how do you call it?
Taylor for me,
No,
squatters.
squatters situation where, and again, there was some promise to deal with people with
Lands, yes.
land issue. Private lands were given to people for a year, all kind of things. So now you have a situation where persons have conflict between neighbor. That one have and that's what breeds all those little ghettos. People have galvanized, just want to capture as much land as they want because it's their government.
Mm-hmm.
You want to land, everybody gets all galvanized, just cutting off an area, and then depending on how fast you can do that, you occupy land. And when you know it's going to be sold, you even open it wider so that you can get more land. While some people have to buy their land.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with people squatting or living on crumb land. But it should be in such a way, Angie, that it should not end up by the gun.
Yeah.
Being dealt with, judged by the gun. But that's the situation that we have. Now the guy was a contractor. The man was not even the one building the house. But he was the contractor of the house, but it wasn't even, he was contracted to build the house and he got killed. So there is trouble down the road.
Yeah.
Because the persons who are occupiers of the house have had problems before, and they stated the report indicated that.
Mm-hmm.
So, boy, Angie, when will our courts are not working, disputes cannot be settled, the police not functioning the way they ought to be functioning. A lot of those land disputes are not things that the police can deal with. They don't have the power, the jurisdiction to deal with land. And remember the start of the show, what we were talking about, land. That's how it started off.
Yep.
Overhanging trees, drainage, land, your neighbors, dispute between neighbors. That's what brings the problems in our communities,
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have a situation where people occupying lands that is not their land. They didn't buy the land. That one want to move fence there, put the boundaries there, burn the garbage on your land. They're going beyond their boundary onto another person's boundary to dump the garbage. That's what happens in those communities, Angie. So, boy. But I realize our time is up, Angie.
Yes, our time is up.
Our time is up. But just one thing I wanted to mention before I just touch on what Mrs. Fletcher spoke about. The CIP report.
Mm-hmm.
Some time ago, the Prime Minister showed a report. He was holding a book in Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I have the report. And he showed the cover of a book, like a manifesto size book.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, here's the report, but the report need to be, what did he say? The report need to have
the auditors
an audit.
to deal with it.
Auditors. Now we cannot find auditors. Auditors are hard to find. But he promised that the report would be tabled in Parliament during budget time. Budget was in April.
Mm-hmm.
In June.
But Foster.
You can't find an auditor.
Foster, are you aware The report was tabled, but part of the report says that the auditors need information from the CIP unit.
But that's not a report, Angie. It's just like you're telling me. We counted the money in the cash box, but I need to still meet Angie to find out whether she still have, that's all the money that's supposed to be in the cash box. That's a vague and empty and a lazy report. That's not a report. You're giving a financial report on the monies you find in a cash tin, Angie. But your conclusion is that the report still needs to be verified because Angie, who has the key for that cash tin, you have not spoken to her to find out if that's all the money she collected from all the sources to put in that cash box. That's not a report. That's not a financial report. But remember, and I remember clearly, after the election, the December 1st election, what's the guy's name? The Emmanuel guy.
Emmanuel.
The guy who went to
McLeod.
McLeod. McLeod, I hope you're listening. Because I said your name. I like to say your names because I know I can get the clip where you said what I'm going to say that you said. You said the report, the CIB report, that was just after the elections victory. McLeod Emmanuel, a man you have never heard from, was brave enough to come and say, and he said it on, not only on my radio, he said it, he said it on national radio, that the report is there and all the monies are accounted for. Very soon, the report will be made public. What's his name? Emmanuel? McLeod Emmanuel. McLeod Emmanuel. And the Prime Minister repeated it in cabinet when he said, he showed the report, he showed a book, and he said, this is the report. You need to audit it. But there are no auditors in the Caribbean or in St. Lucia. What did he say?
I'm not sure whether
auditors cannot be found. So much so that
he said there's a shortage
of auditors. So you have a report that cannot be audited. It cannot be tabled. A report that is, 2 reports are due. Angie, let me tell you, in any serious place, you have a government that call an election with that, a serious report like that with so much implication pending. Monies unaccounted for. People are making so many allegations against the CIP and the minister and the government. The government calls an election, bamboozle the people. I almost say a word I shouldn't say. Wins an election on the hope that that report and monies are accounted for. And budget ends. A new cycle has started. The Prime Minister have not come back to the people and say one word, give one explanation for that report not being done. A minister boasted that in 1 year the CIP made $240 million.
Well, he didn't tell us.
In 1 year, the man said.
Yeah, but he didn't tell us if it's EC, if it's US, if it's pounds, if it's Naira. So we still don't know how much money they make up.
Now, the fees are what we get from the passport sales, right? Because the passport money is not our money. According to
the Minister of Investment.
So if the passport fees are $50,000 per passport, we can estimate how many passports amount to $240 million. That's very easy to do.
But do we know if it's 240 million US?
Let's take the simplest
pound.
Let's take the simplest currency.
EC.
Does it make a difference?
Yes.
It makes a difference? Okay, let's say it's 240 million.
Let me tell you why. Because if it's 240 million euro, a euro is free, you see.
Mm.
So we have to multiply it by 3 to find out.
So if it's easy,
If it's easy,
that's 50,000 passports, you know?
then we can check it. If it's
You know that, MJ?
US, I just want the government to do the job we paying them for. They starting to confuse me now.
No. If the fee for one passport is 50,000 EC, let's say it's EC,
Mm-hmm.
and you made $240 million,
Mm-hmm.
you know 50,000 passports, you see?
Well,
The mathematics not lie, you know?
yeah, but I don't think Philip JP and no math's not supposed to lie because
Philippine doesn't know maths. Philippine and Hilo, you see the two of them? They didn't do mathematics. I know Hilo went to Compre now. I went to Compre and we did mathematics in Compre.
mm-hmm. But
I don't know, Pierre went to college, and I don't think English and mathematics were not taught in college.
You think so?
During Philip Pierre time.
You think so? Or
No, I
because
don't
he just
believe
didn't come
so.
to class, no time.
You think he missed school so much?
I don't know. I don't know because when a prime minister speaks, let me tell you something. I'm not judging the prime minister. A lot of people, when you talk about the way he speaks, they tell you, "Oh, the man overcomes so much."
He overcome?
And the man has a speech impediment, and no speech impediment can affect your intelligence. Number one. And although the prime minister say he's not telling us, he cannot come and tell us what intelligence he have or the level of his intelligence.
Please, I don't know do it.
But my goodness, man. The prime minister, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, every time you open your mouth, you speak as if you went to school on a Saturday in August.
Ash Wednesday.
No, a Saturday in August. Because guess what? If you had go to Sunday, they might say you went to Sunday school. And when he went the Saturday in August, I don't even think he entered the classroom. He must have stayed outside in the yard. That's how his speech, what he says, because you ask the man, and it has happened to me. I've interviewed the Prime Minister and tell him, Prime Minister, you said that something different will happen in the sky today. But when I looked up, I realized the sky was still blue. Can you explain that? And he'll say, well, that's because you didn't realize the river running free. What do I have to do with the sky? You ask a Prime Minister, are the clouds white? He telling you that boats on the horizon. He telling you that grass green. He telling you the man.
And the Prime Minister is a man like
Confounded, kerfuffled, and
you ever see a bowler that bowls 6 different balls?
Well, he did say he can handle googly spin. I never knew there was googly spin, but he said he can handle googly spin. He can handle new spin. He can handle, what other spin he said? Left arm spin, back spin, front spin, side spin.
Yeah.
But we need clarification
on
that backlog court. We need clarification on so many things. And people in St. Lucia, let me tell you something. This is my opinion. United we stand, divided we fall. And that is not just for any one group of people. That is for every single St. Lucia. We are not a country that should allow politics to divide us. We need to go back to the days when right was right and wrong was wrong. Not perception is king. And that's what's going on in St. Lucia, you know. Earlier today, Auntie Joyce was asking why SLP supporters are so fanatical. I'll tell you why. SLP supporters have realized the more fanatical they behave, the more money they can collect from the party. That is why they are so fanatical. The only thing they care about, SLP has realized that there's no real loyalty unless you buy it. And there are anybody who is willing to take a bribe, to take a bribe against good governance. Because when you allow someone who you know is corrupt, when you allow someone who you know is morally bankrupt, when you allow someone who you know abuses the system, when you allow someone who you know cannot do the job. There's a certain ex-minister who went to speak to some constituents, trying to get the constituents to vote for him. And you know what he said to them? Y'all already make the incumbent a rich man. Make me a rich man too. And then I can check for y'all. When somebody stands up and says to you on a public platform, do not believe the bluff that you should put your country first. That person can pay me the most money in the world, infinite dollars. They cannot get my vote. I have to live in that country. I have to work in that country. When the money you pay me for my vote finish, I still have to eat. What is the point of me taking a handout from you one time that will last me maybe a couple of days, or maybe the same day I get it, the same day it finish, because God knows sometimes I have how much bills waiting for that money already. What is the point of selling your soul? Because that's what you're doing when you take money or handouts or a project. The money must finish, but you still have to live in that country till you die. And when that person mess it up and destroy it, the money they give you for the one vote on election day, it not cover in the next 5 years of poverty. That person taking back that money 25,000 times, and you guys saw it. How many of you got $500 to vote and then turn around and pay $1.48 million in VAT? It's about time you guys open your eyes. When a candidate pays you for your vote, they don't owe you work.
Well, exactly what you see there. I have Richard Frederick on a clip saying that, but we can't get it now. Next time we'll play it. Angie, something happened last week. I bought free Sky FM shirts at the time when Sky FM was a real radio station. And I wore one last week, and a certain person met me and they tell me, man, you're still wearing that shirt? The manager of that station not even wearing that shirt again. I tell him that I'm wearing the shirt because my money paid for the shirt. And I told him it's good. History is good to know. That's a subject that is a very good history. Because if you forget your history, Angie, you are likely, there's a saying
your mistakes.
To repeat.
History will repeat itself.
Yeah. History, it is very important to note history. At one time, Sky FM was a station that we were championing, that we were going to raise funds for, because it was a genuine St. Lucian station, owned by a St. Lucian, sold to a Dominican, repurchased by a St. Lucian, and then it ended up being an illegal station by certain persons. That person happened to be Stevenson King, who all the time was playing his snake, making his snake move.
Somebody said on my show this morning the first snake sighting was in Castries North.
Castries North. But he did breed all the snakes that are around the place. So, Sky FM has its own history. And if persons are ashamed to wear the Sky FM shirt, and my money paid for it, I'm wearing my Sky FM shirt. But it's important to note what happened to Sky FM and where is Sky FM and where are the persons who are pushing Sky FM? Where are they? But Mrs. Fletcher said something. I think we should end with that one. People get updated with your constituency branch. If you are a member of a branch, make yourself financial. It's $12 a year. That comes to how much, Angie? $12 a year, she said. So that's $1 a month.
I guess so, yeah.
And you must be, in order to vote, you must be financial. You know the party is working towards convention. Cast resist. That's a reminder. If you're no longer a member, that's okay. But if you want to be a member, get yourself financial. Listen for updates. Listen for any communications coming from the party, the branch, to get yourself ready. If there are new members that you are aware of, let somebody know. You know the chairman, you know myself as the outgoing campaign manager, you know the candidate, Mr. Peter Chico. Get in touch with somebody. We need to strengthen our membership and to keep ourselves oiled, because we would be the ones deciding who the next candidate, our next candidate will be on a vote. Now, if you are not financial, you cannot vote. Now, if you didn't vote, if you didn't vote in the last election, or you don't plan, or you decided you're not going to vote, you don't count. Don't meet me and tell me any party show. If you didn't vote for the party, and you feel you make your own party, you are free to make your own party. You are even free to be your candidate yourself in the next election. So there shouldn't be no dispute over that. If you don't want to support who's there, bring in somebody or make your own party. All right, so stay tuned, stay informed, listen for updates, and we are sure going to very soon send something out, some communication out to let you know what our next program will be. So, Angie, I think that's all I have to say.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us once again on Fire FM for Full Disclosure. On behalf of Mr. Chico and myself, I want to wish you guys a wonderful evening and hope that you meet us again tomorrow as we continue to, well, not us, I should say myself, because Mr. Chico will be here until next Monday. But join Fire FM tomorrow, where at 2 p.m. we will have Hard Talk. I'm trying to source a guest for Thursday's episode of Insight. I want it to be a great one, so please share with me because bear with me because I really want to discuss the cost of living crisis and I'm trying to
I
find.
thought you don't go in the backward court.
No, I need more information about the backlog court before I
I call
talk
it a
about.
backward court.
Oh, it's backward. Oh, sorry. So, guys, thanks again for joining us. Myself and Mr. Chico. See you next Monday for more full disclosure. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.